Hello. Hello.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Warm welcome to each one of you at Bishop's House, headquarters of the Diocese of Calcutta Church of North India, part of the worldwide Anglican Communion, that is the Anglican Church. We sincerely apologize for the delay in starting our press conference because of traffic congestion on reaching our delegates on time. But we'll start now. Here with us we have the Most Reverend and Right Honourable Justin Portal Welby, Archbishop of Canterbury. We have with us Most Reverend Dr. Premchand Singh, who is the moderator of the Church of North India. We have with us Reverend Paritosh Canning, Bishop of the Diocese of Calcutta, Church of North India. We have Professor Jayant Agrawal, who is the Honorary Treasurer of the Synod of the Church of North India. And we have with us Mr. Joshua Ratnam, who is the Chief Functionary and Secretary of Synodical Board of Health Services. Without taking more time, after offering a short prayer, we'll open the floor for you for questions to our respected dignitaries this evening. Thank you so much. We offer a short prayer because everything, when we begin, we invoke the presence and the blessings of the Lord Almighty, who is our Creator. Let us pray. Gracious Lord, we thank and praise you for this very particular historic moment in the history of the Diocese of Calcutta Church of North India. And we ask for your blessings and presence among us, that whatever you do is for your glory. We ask in your Son's Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Now I hand over to the floor and to our dignitaries.
Shall I start with a statement? Or is the bishop going to start? Or would you like me to start? Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, may I say what an honour it is to have so many journalists at a press conference, and thank you for the work you do. It's a great privilege to be interviewed by you and have you turn up and use your time in this way on a Sunday afternoon. I'm aware of some of the newspapers in India, which has a reputation for extraordinary, vigorous and lively press, and that's a great gift. My visit here on this occasion, it's my second visit to India, has been first for prayer with Christians in India, although it began in Sri Lanka with meeting with and praying with and sharing with the Christians, the survivors and the bereaved from the bombings on Easter Day, which you will remember. We then travelled to Cochin and down to Kottayam, and then we came up through South India via Bangalore and Hyderabad, and then Jabalpur, and we've been in Calcutta since yesterday. So there's one more visit, which is tomorrow we go on to Amritsar, and the purpose of the visit has been prayer, pilgrimage and pastoral. It is to pray with the Christians, to learn from the Christians, these ancient churches in this land, indigenous churches, Christianity with a very clearly Indian face, and to share pastorally with them. And I come as a religious leader. I greatly value that these churches, the Church of North India as the Church of South India, is a church that is fully part of the Anglican Communion, as well as several other world communions, because it is a united and uniting church, and in that way leads the way in the world in ecumenism, in bringing the churches of Christ into unity. They are the inheritors of the Anglican tradition and life. There's no one else who can call themselves part of the Anglican Church in this land apart from CNI and CSI. And it has been wonderful to come and share and pray with them. And I will now shut up and take any questions you like. I'd be very grateful if you'd say who you were and which institution you represent when you ask a question. No questions?
Any questions to ask him?
I have two questions, sir, if that's okay. I am Monideepa Banerjee. I work with a national English language television channel, a news channel. And the first question is really to do with tomorrow and your visit to Amritsar and the Jallianwala Bagh. What can we expect from you at Jallianwala Bagh on the 100th year of the massacre? I know that there has been this debate about a full apology. Apparently, former Prime Minister Theresa May came close to it. You also gave out a statement on the 13th of April this year. Are you going to take it forward tomorrow?
We travel tomorrow. I will be there on Tuesday.
I beg your pardon.
No, it's my fault. I was unclear. Right. First of all, I did make a statement on the exact anniversary of this dreadful massacre. And I will make another statement on Tuesday, but I think it's important that that is not preempted. Secondly, I cannot speak for the British government or for the United Kingdom. I'm a religious leader. I have no political authority to offer anything on behalf of the United Kingdom or the UK government. So what I say will be in my capacity as a religious leader, but I think it's courteous to the people who suffered, the people there, that what is said there and not preempted by saying anything today.
Right, so the other question has to do with Kolkata and where the church is very active, and we are all sort of in and out of this beautiful Bishop House all the time. But in the last few months, actually, we've seen several changes in bishops in the city, and we are used to seeing a bishop here for years and years and years. Would you agree that there are some quarters who are calling it turbulence in this Bishop House? Would you agree with that? Can you enlighten us on that, and what are the steps you are taking to calm things down?
Thank you. That's a very interesting question. Let me, in England, I'm known that when I'm not going to answer a question, I don't do what a politician does and spend the next 5 minutes answering a different question. I simply say, I'm not going to answer the question. I don't know enough to answer the question. I encourage Christians to pray together, but that is really a question for the moderator and the bishop.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What do you want?
Oh, I see. So you... I thought it was quite a good thing because it hid my face. many people would consider a blessing. Okay, this is wonderful. I wish the English press was like this. You're not asking me any questions at all. Yes, sir. Well, it's one of the things I've been learning. There's a great temptation in all churches everywhere to become inward-looking and to deal with their inward problems. What I find so impressive about CNI and CSI is their deep and passionate concern about global issues of deprivation and poverty and suffering. For example, the climate crisis, which is the climate emergency, which I think is beyond all description. We see its effect in many, many places, including the south of India. And secondly, their deep involvement, as Anglican churches around the world do, in education and health. And in what I've seen of the educational institutions, they are very careful to ensure that they reach out to the poor, and their plans are to do that even more. I mean, it's probably not so well known in India, and I only discovered it this time, but correct me if I'm wrong, but the first education of girls in India was in an Anglican school in 1819, which was so early that the English schools had only just started. In many ways, they were ahead here. And that is typical. They educate girls. I was at a girls' school earlier today, which was mesmerizingly good. And they educate the poor. They look after people with disabilities, all the people that society tends to ignore. So I've been learning quite a lot more, and I hope to link up the churches here with churches in England and around the world so that we can learn from each other more effectively. But thank you for the question.
My name is Meeta Mukherjee. I'm from Telegraph newspaper. Sir, I have one question. You've already visited several cities before coming to Calcutta. So what is your opinion regarding the condition of Christians in India?
I think I have to speak very carefully here because, again, I speak from ignorance. The first important step in my job is to move from unconscious ignorance to conscious ignorance. In other words, to know that you don't know rather than thinking you do know when you don't know. And to make a general statement after 10 days in a country, I mean, it's ridiculous. I could spend 5 lifetimes in India and I would still not understand. So what I would say is Christians in India go back centuries, almost 2,000 years. They're some of the oldest and groups, and in addition, India has this incredible tradition of diversity of faiths within its history and its ancient civilization, much older civilization than Europe or the United Kingdom. It has, and of course the position of faith groups is protected by, I think it's section 25 of the Indian Constitution, which provide, and 30. Section 25 I'm more familiar with, which provides for freedom, essentially for what we'd now call freedom of religion and belief. So it's deeply in the law, it's deeply in the culture, and as a religious leader, I would want to encourage all groups and all political and religious leaders to see clearly that maintenance of Section 25 and the values that underpinned it is essential to the flourishing of India in the future. A country that is confident in its own culture and has a diversity of cultures is much more likely to flourish and to grow. And India has this great heritage and history which goes back, as I say, very nearly 2,000 years, which we value deeply. So I think Christians need to know that these sections of the Constitution are really important and valuable. Thank you. Anyone else? Could someone pass a microphone? I'm getting very old and deaf, and I can't hear very easily.
I am Shahryar from Millennium Post. What is your message to the City of Joy?
City of Joy
Is Calcutta.
Yes.
Calcutta.
What is your visit place? Plan, visit plan.
What is my main plan for here? It's just to come here and see and learn and enjoy. It's the most extraordinary city. I mean, it's one of the world's great cities. India seems to have more and more of the world's great cities. Mumbai would be another, and Bangalore and Hyderabad. Everywhere you go, there's this energy in this country, which is just incredible. Calcutta is a place of deep history and immense energy. And my plan for being here is just to learn and soak things up. Anything else? I've worn you out. You're tired at the end of the weekend. Thank you very, very much for your attention. I will hand over to His Grace the Moderator.
Thank you. Many of our friends, press reporters, when I am not there, they call me on phone and ask the questions. When I am there here, nobody asking. So one question is asked, and probably our Archbishop could not answer, but as a moderator of Church of North India, it is my duty to clarify that orders and that things. As you asked, and last few months there was so much changes take place. So I think all the Calcutta people and our Christian people and diocesan people know what happened in future in the last times. And then the head office, the Church of North India Synod, which is the administrative body of CNI, has a right to take the decisions in several times to uplift the diocese, to grow the diocese. If something happening in the diocese, the Synod of the Church of North India is the person who takes responsibility to take care. And I do believe after having Bishop Paritosh Canning from last 10th June, 11th June, when he was installed as the Bishop of Diocese of Calcutta, I think the Diocese of Calcutta people are in happy of just like City of Joy. I can see the many priests, I can see many head of institution has a different face, very smiling face. And most of the time I visit here and I can see their joy. So something, different things are happening, and many corrections will take place. Thank you.
Lady in the second row asked me a question this morning that I said I'd answer this. Was it you? It was not you.
No, that was
It
other
was
lady.
someone else.
She's not here.
She's not here, right? Sorry, I need stronger
So
glasses as well.
Do you want to ask our moderator, sir?
And I want to make you clear very much. The Calcutta Diocese is part of Church of North India, very oldest church, very oldest, because this church, the diocese is being in 1814, and this diocese complete 2 years is journey, 200 years of journey, 200 years of journey. and 50 years is very united and uniting church. And the Church of England has a very unique relationship with the Diocese of Calcutta. And that is why we always remember, and many times what Bishop Sir I have told, we always say sea to sea. That means Canterbury to Kolkata. So that relations we have with the Church of North India. And we want to be strong in the fellowship, in prayer, in support each other, in solidarity with the Church of England and the Church of North India. Yes. You are Shiva? Yeah, please.
2014. It was quite shortly after the election in which the current government was first elected. It was within a few weeks. No. I've never met the Prime Minister. I'm not going to this time. I'm not going to be in Delhi. I come on a pilgrimage. If I have the honour of meeting the Prime Minister one day, it would be a privilege to do so, as it is with heads of state and heads of government around the world. They all do incredibly difficult jobs. We stand outside politics as religious leaders or as journalists, and we sometimes criticize them very easily. I think one of the things I say as a religious leader is the Bible tells us to pray for our leaders, both the ones in government and in opposition, for their wisdom, that every single citizen will flourish.
Good.
Well, just before we end, I want to just, for your kind information, I want to just say that the Lord Archbishop of the Canterbury is not only the head of the Church of England, but he is the head of the Anglican Communion of the world. In that Anglican Communion, Church of North India is part of that Anglican Communion. And in 1970, when Church of North India born, before that, this particular house was the head office for the Anglican Church. And after the CNI born, this Anglican Church merged into the Church of North India. Not merged into the Church of North India, but they joined into the Church of North India in unity. So always, this is the first, 200 years we are running this Church of Diocese of Calcutta as Anglican Church. And then in 1970, we became the Church of North India. So Church of North India is a successor of the Anglican Church. There is no doubt of that. So, and still, not only successor, but even today, we are in the communion of the Church of Anglican Communion of the world. So, by grace of God, we'll be having next year all Anglican Communion Bishops Conference. We have every 10 years, Lambeth Conference, which called, and all Church of North India bishops who are the part of the Anglican Communion will be joining to that Lambeth Conference. All CNI Church of North India bishops will be joining to that conference. When Church of North India born and when the Anglican Church was there with this house, our main mission is to spread the love of God, love of Jesus Christ. That is the main aim and objectives. To do that, we nurture the society irrespective of creed, caste, color. Now, even now, one more thing should be added in respect of political parties or leaders or anything. We just, church just serve the society, that's all. We don't bother who is who. And to do that, to spread our love of Jesus, we nurture through education, which is not only for the poor, even for the rich people. We don't see who is rich and who is poor. Our main aim and objective is to provide or to give good quality education to the society. Whoever is there in the society must get the proper quality education. Secondly, we try to see, we have our own limitations, but we try to see through love of Christ that everybody should get some kind of health care. We have our HIV/AIDS hospital, we have our tuberculosis hospitals, we have some of our normal, natural, general clinics. So we try to, but we have our own limitations. So, but we try to provide health care as much as possible. Now, at this juncture, well, while everybody is confused, they need counseling. Diocese of Calcutta, Church of North India, who is the part of the Anglican Communion, we try to provide counseling in several ways. All our schools are having counseling departments where this house provides the counselors. This house provides the counselors for all our schools. Not only our schools, even if some other schools, if they want, we are ready to provide the counselors. Of course, there may be a small amount of money they have to provide because they have to go, the traveling cost and all. That is very minimum, but the Diocese of Calcutta, Church of North India is ready to provide counselors to the societies. Not only that, even in Friendship Center, when all youths comes, the thousands of youths comes in St. Paul's Cathedral. We have a Friendship Center. We have planned to have more places if we could do that, where all the youths, mostly the youths comes. Of course, there are so many other ages peoples are there who needs to come to the Friendship Center, and they come. But mostly the youths who are nowhere in the society. They're puzzles in the educations, in their families, neglected in the families, neglected in the colleges, schools, by the societies. But when they come there, they get a new life. They get the vision. So church trying to provide love of Jesus. So with this, I want to give you thanks to all of you, the press people, medias. You have come, you have taken your valuable time to come over here, and we believe that you will be our media to the society to tell what our church is doing today. Thank you.
Thank you.